Okay, welcome everybody to the Wealth by Design workshop. I am super excited that you are here today, whether you're here live or whether you are watching the recording. This is designed to be a truly transformational workshop. So if you haven't got a pen and a piece of paper, then I highly recommend you grab one. Great. Good to see that people on the call have a pen and a paper because you're going to go to work today. I'm going to work you through a framework to help to set you up for success this year. And this is not a conventional transformational workshop. This is, it's out of the box, a bit like me. And this is really designed to stretch you, provoke you, to help you to break new ground. And I'm going to go through what we will be working through today in just a sec. I do want to let you know, for those who are live on the call, you will have a chance to work with me to clear the BS, the conditioning, the programming at the end of today. And I want to just let you know that if you do choose to work with me, that this recording is going to go out on my YouTube channel. So I need you to know that whatever comes out on this recording will actually be live and public on my YouTube channel. So I know that can be a bit confronting for people, but it's how I want to reach more people to help them to get breakthroughs as well. So let me just share my keynote presentation. Okay, let's start that again. All right. Share. All right. So this is about choosing wealth and changing lives. So the first thing that we're going to work through today is, what do you want? Getting really clear on what it is that you want. So zero limits. Then we're going to look at where to focus your energy to achieve your vision for your future. And we're going to speak about simplifying to be able to expand and explode your success, your wealth, whatever you want to achieve this year. Getting into alignment, very critical and key. Reclaiming your power. Transforming your identity, that's super important. Creating an aligned action plan, and letting that shit go. So letting that shit go is the part where I will actually invite you to work with me if you want to. So anything that you've identified during the first part of the workshop, we can work through that together, and I can help you to release what it is that is holding you back. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so we should be back with, you can see me again. Just nod or give me a thumbs up. Yes, okay. So, all right, very cool. So let's get started. Welcome to anybody who is just arriving on the call. A few more people jumping on. That is really cool to see. So we're working through a very powerful framework today to help you to really get clear on where it is you're going and what you need to do to be able to really transform your life this year. If you are ready to break the old mold and get on the fast track to achieving your success, then this is where the rubber meets the road. And we are in such exciting times right now because we are seeing old paradigms being shattered globally. It is a reflection of where we're at, where humanity is at right now. And you have, it's like it's like there's two timelines, and I believe it is actually not just like, it is two timelines, and the timelines are separating. You have those who are kind of hanging on to the old paradigms, and there are those who are going to be leading forward into the new paradigms. And I believe if you are here, then you are actually on that accelerated timeline, that timeline that is moving into a higher state of consciousness, that is breaking and shattering the old paradigms. And it's letting go of the guardrails, which is freaking scary. So the old systems, the old paradigms, whilst they gave us a safety net, and as long as we followed the rules-based order, we had a safety net to live by. Whereas, even if it was, even if it doesn't always feel safe, there are boundaries within that. However, when we leave behind the guardrails, the best part is that we get to exceed those perceived and imposed limitations on our ability to create our world, our life, our way by design, instead of having to conform and comply to the rules that we were taught and conditioned into by the system. So this is what this is all about. And this is why a lot of people resist this and they choose the guardrails, because even though they might be repressed and suppressed by the system, it feels safe because it's familiar. You're going to break new ground. It's unfamiliar. It feels unsafe. It's scary as hell. But when you understand and know your power, then it's not scary at all, because you understand that you have the power to transcend, to transform, to solve any problem, to be able to create your life by design. But it's an entirely new way of living, totally new way of living. It's a world that is unfamiliar to well over 90% of the population. I'd say 96 to 98% of people are struggling with the trend. Oh, no, not 96 are struggling, but 96 to 98% of people are, they're so familiar with the old world that they're hesitant to transition into the new world. And there are a large percentage of people who just won't choose the transition. So what I want to do is give you a framework that helps you and guides you to make this transition in a way that can support you to feel, to not feel like your entire world is collapsing in on you. So let's get started with the framework that we're going to cover today. So firstly, suspend disbelief. And I want you to write down, what is it that you really want? Get really clear. There are no limits, zero limits. What is it that you really want? Give yourself permission to absolutely go full radical and think about, what is it that you really want? Give yourself permission to just be and create everything that your heart desires. What does that look like? For anyone who is just joining us, grab a pen and a piece of paper. We're writing out what you really want. Zero limits. Zero limits. Keep going. Break new ground. Nothing is off the table. If you're writing out what's familiar, I'm going to challenge you to find something that is unfamiliar, to expand your vision, to expand your dream. Don't care if it sounds impossible. Just go there. Give yourself permission to go there. Okay, I'm going to give you another minute. I want you to think of something really outrageous that makes you smile, that makes you laugh, that uplifts your soul, that you think, oh my God, that could never be possible, but geez, what if it could? Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is where to focus your energy. So it's really important that when you look at this massive goal and vision that you've written out, the radical, outrageous thing that just looks totally impossible, and everything else that you've written down as well, that you don't allow your limited brain to freeze. That response that's just like it glitches and goes, ah, I don't even know where to start. So where do you focus now? So start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. So you need to have some sort of a plan, obviously, and it doesn't have to be some in-depth plan. Just recognize where you're at, be realistic, and think about, okay, this is where I am right now. This is where I want to get to. It's like I'm thinking about another planet, another universe, another dimension. But where do you start? You simply start with what you know right now. And you think about what is the next most logical step. That's it. What is the next most logical step? And remember, you're not working with the world as it is right now. You are working with the world and your world as what you wish it to be. So you are creating from the future. Think about it this way. You are creating from the future. So this is where visualization and creating your vision board and all the rest of it comes in. The power of that is that you are literally thinking about this is the future that I'm creating, and you create from the future. So your focus is beyond the current life that you live, because the current life that you live, you perceived to be bounded, you perceive to be limited. But when you start creating from the future, then you can kind of reverse engineer everything. So where you focus your energy is, okay, well, this seems like a whole world away, but what do I need to learn? What are some things that I can put in place right now that can help you to just make progress? You focus on just making progress. That's it. So how you can make progress today and progress tomorrow, because it is the progress that you make every single day, no matter how small, that adds up to massive progress over time, because you build momentum and everything compounds. And if you think about where some of the most successful people in the world started, if you look at Jeff Bezos, and I don't know if you've seen, I haven't got this up on my screen, but let me see if I can find it right now. Because the image of where Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, started, uh, there it is. Okay, let me share my screen. Oh, it's a bit blurry, but anyway, you'll be able to get the gist. It's a very old photo. So share. Okay, so this is where one of the richest men in the world started. That was the beginning of Amazon. Literally this dingy little office with an old computer from 30 years ago. And look at the behemoth that he built from there. But he had to start where he was at. And he just did what he knew he could in that moment. That dude right there, the balding guy at that little tiny desk, with look at all the wires that he's got, all the stuff that he's got plugged into his electrical board there. Um, that is not the guy who is the head of Amazon today. The head of Amazon today is a completely different guy with a completely different understanding of the world, a completely different, very expanded amount of knowledge about business, about success, about wealth. And he's transformed himself multiple times. And I mean, Elon Musk started in a very similar position. He and his business partner at the time, when they started to build PayPal, they couldn't afford somewhere to live and an office. So they rented an office and they lived in the office. They slept in the office. They would code at night to get the online payment system up and running. They would put it up during the day for people to use to find out where they needed to fix it. And then they would fix it and build it and grow it. They just started where they were at. And look at where Elon Musk is today. Several multi-billion-dollar companies across multiple industries. It's insane. And that's in 30 years. It's a ridiculous amount of time to be able to create that much success. So it's really important that no matter where you're at right now, that you know that you are right where you need to be for where you're going. You're not behind. Don't stop beating yourself up because you haven't gotten to where you want to be yet. You are right where you need to be for where you're going. So take the pressure off and just think about, for where I'm at, what is the next most logical step, and stop focusing on the things that you can't control. Where do you put your focus and your energy? On the things that you can control, on the learning that you need to do, on the actions that you can take right now, on the skill sets that you can develop. And the learning that you need to do, gosh, books, podcasts, courses. Our access to information is like almost limitless at this point, particularly if you bring AI into the mix. It's insane what we have access to. So you are not limited by your access to information as we used to be 40, 50, 60, 100,000 years ago. You're only limited by your imagination. You're only limited by your ability to feel the fear and do it anyway, by the constraints that you have put on yourself. The only constraints you have now are the constraints you put on yourself. And we're going to cover that in one of the other points that we're going to go through today. So basically, where you focus your energy is just start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. So I want to talk about the simplification part of this because, look, let's face it, humans overcomplicate freaking everything. We make everything so freaking complex. And the more complexity you bring into your current process and your current model that you're going to use moving forward, the harder you're going to make it and the more likely you are to quit. So keep it as simple as possible. There's a guy that I follow that almost nobody's ever heard of. I don't even remember how I came across him, but his name is Manoj Bhagavar. So he was an Indian born in America, and he has a website called Billions in Change. If you want to look that up, billionsinchange.com. Extraordinary man. And he basically, short story is he created a product called 5 Hour Energy, which was like a energy booster drink thing, and it went absolutely gangbusters in the States, and then it went international. So he suddenly had this, and he was a serial entrepreneur like they all are, and he had these billions of dollars, and he was like, wow, what am I going to do with billions of dollars? He was very socially minded. So I don't need billions of dollars. So he really thought about how he wanted to impact the world for the better. He chose three things: sustainable energy for third world countries, sustainable food sources for third world countries, and clean water. So he used his financial backing to build an engineer's playground, and he invited experts and engineers who had ideas for solutions to these problems, and he would assess their ideas. And then if they met his criteria, then he would bring them into his engineer's playground, give them the money and the resources to actually build out their idea. And one of his primary criteria was simplicity. It had to be simple, because imagine you're going to be producing this in third world countries. If it's too complex because they don't have the infrastructure, it's never going to work. And it's important that you take this kind of philosophy into whatever you're doing right now. As you grow and as you expand, it will naturally become more complex, but you will be the person you need to be able to manage and handle that complexity. Amazon is far from a simple model now, but it started as a simple model. PayPal was a simple model. What Musk manages now is far from simple. It's so complex. Just even thinking about it fries my brain. But he grew into the person he needed to be able to manage that kind of complexity. So keep everything as simple as possible to make it as effective as possible, to make the most progress that you possibly can in the fastest amount of time. So that needs to be one of your criteria for the frameworks that you build moving forward, because that's what will ultimately be able to explode your success and your wealth. So now this is so important, getting into soul alignment. Alignment is the future. Screw hustle culture. That's gone. That's dead and buried. Hustle culture, what has been taught to us to keep us busy, to keep us distracted, to stop us from being the most powerful version of ourselves. And you have some really highly successful people out there who I love, and I couldn't really understand why I just didn't quite resonate with them. It's like, well, this makes sense, but why don't I really resonate with you? Why aren't you my guru? Why do I kind of listen to your stuff and go, oh, yeah, that's really cool, and then go, yeah, but that's not the way I want to live my life? It's because a lot of the old teachings in the old paradigms are built to keep you distracted, are built to keep you busy, so you don't understand your true power. And your power is in your alignment. Alignment with source, divine, with the universe, with who you truly are. Alignment with your soul. So when you think about getting into soul alignment, and you know the law of attraction is energy, frequency, and vibration. So when you are in an alignment, your frequency and your vibration is in alignment with who you truly are, with the vision of the world that you want to create, with your values, with what's important to you, with what you stand for, with the essence of who you truly are. When you get into alignment, that's when you get into flow. And this is what this is what's hard for us, because we were conditioned out of it when we were born here. We were born understanding flow, understanding that we are an extension of source energy, understanding that we are infinitely powerful beings, understanding that we are abundant beings, understanding that we are master creators of our world, of our life, of our future, of our experiences. Then we were conditioned out of it. And it's all part of the game. I mean, if we didn't make it complicated, and if we didn't condition ourselves out of it, then we would have mastered the game a long time ago, and there would be no point to embodying ourselves in this human meat suit to remember who we truly are. The whole game is to remember your power, remember where you came from, remember that you are an extension of source, the divine, God, everything. And you are the creator of worlds, because you are connected to everything, and everything else is connected to you. So your focus from this point forward needs to be aligned action. What is in alignment? What decisions, when you make decisions, the decisions need to be in alignment with who you truly are. Know thyself. Key and critical. Know thyself. Know what you stand for. Know what your gifts and talents are. Know what feeds your soul, what lights you up. Know what your superpowers are. Know what is non-negotiable for you. Know what's a deal breaker for you, and make decisions on knowing what is in alignment with your true core values and what is like, no, I don't care how much I want success, wealth, abundance. I am never doing that. Because that is the future of our world, is conscious capitalism. I am a huge, I love capitalism, but not in the way that it has been structured in the past. We are now moving into a space where the benevolent wealthy, we're not seeing it just yet, but it is emerging. The benevolent wealthy will actually rule the world, but we need to collapse the old system first. And it looks scary as hell. And it looks chaotic. And it looks like everything we don't want. But in actual fact, we need to shatter the old paradigms to be able to advance into and create the new paradigms. And that's where you come in. I hate to break it to you, but you're kind of on the leading edge. That's why you're here today, because you are the leading edge of this new earth paradigm. So stop underestimating yourself. Stop thinking that, oh, me, little me, how on earth can I do anything like that? Because you're a part of the collective that is building and growing and understanding where we're going. You know what? You're not doing it on your own, obviously. So embrace this new this new earth paradigm. And everything that you do from this point forward, every decision that you make, every action that you take, the way you approach life every single day comes from a place of possibility and opportunity and understanding that life is happening for you, not to you, and that you are choosing alignment and congruence with who you are and who you want to become. It's not just who you are, it's who you want to become. So everything that you do, you choose alignment first. Alignment comes first. Because if you're out of alignment, nothing works. It's a bit like trying to open a safe. And it's that one little click. Until you click that and everything is in alignment, the safe won't open. It's the same with your alignment. Get into alignment. And don't make it hard. Just go, who am I? Allow your emotions, your feelings to guide you. That's your emotional guidance system, as Abraham Hicks calls it. So your primary role, your primary job is to get into alignment first. And then it's looking at reclaiming your power, dissolving your internal conflict. So this is the next step, reclaiming your power. It is approaching everything with a confidence and conviction, knowing who you truly are, knowing the powerful being you are, knowing you are capable of creating, being, achieving anything that you put your mind to, and understanding who you are at the deepest possible level. It is clearing out the fears, the doubts, the blocks, the limiting beliefs, because those constraints are constructs and they are false constructs. Anything that limits you is a false construct. So it's doing that internal work to shatter those false constructs It's why I love tapping and all these other coaching techniques that I use, because they challenge and shatter the old paradigms so you can step into the new and most powerful version of you. And it doesn't happen overnight. We never get it all done. That's the fun of being human, as frustrating as it can be at times. But when you choose and you show up in a way every single day that you decide that you are going to shatter the version of the person who, the limited version of you from yesterday, you're going to break new ground. See, the universe will organize itself around your intentions. So once you decide that you are going to shatter the old paradigm of who you were, all of a sudden the universe organizes itself around that. And it's messy AF. You're going to feel uncomfortable. Things are going to happen. You're going to like, well, that wasn't part of the plan. Well, it sort of kind of was, even though you didn't anticipate it, predict it, even though it looks like you're actually being, a lot of people misinterpret the things that happen to them as roadblocks when really they're invitations. So interesting story that I read on X just last week. And it was, I'm not on TikTok, but a lot of TikTok gets shared on X. And this fairly young guy who has a wife, a partner, and he worked for this chain in the United States for 19 years. 19 years. He had been a loyal employee, and it was a restaurant, a fast food chain. And he had always shown up on time. He'd never had a sick day. He had been elevated to being a supervisor, and he'd always been a corporate guy. And he was, last Christmas, he was told he was going to work on Christmas, and he'd never said, I'm not going to work. You need to find somebody else. So he asked for volunteers to work with him on that day. So employees to volunteer, because he didn't want to make anybody work on Christmas, because he had a big heart and a conscience. And he went, well, that's not fair. And because there were no benefits, there were no, like in Australia, we get like double time and a half to work on those days if you're employed in the hospitality industry, and not in America. Well, at least not with this company. And he got 4 employees to put their hands up to work with him on Christmas Day. Sweet. His supervisor said to him, no, that's not enough. You need to make more people work. He refused. So he worked with 4 people, and he thought, we should be able to cope. Well, they were absolutely smashed. Apparently, they were the only company who was open that day on Christmas Day, the only restaurant, and they got so smashed that he had to close the doors early just to be able to meet the orders that they already had. And his company, who had been loyal to for 19 years, guess what they did? They sacked him. Sacked him like that. Like, what the? So he's sharing this on TikTok. His whole world has collapsed. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He's terrified because he's got to pay his rent or his mortgage or whatever it is, meet all his financial obligations. And he's freaking out because clearly he's a guy who likes structure. He likes stability. He's been with the company 19 years. And all of a sudden, his whole world has been shattered. He shares this on TikTok. Several days later, he shares an update that all of a sudden, all these people have come in and said, oh, you can come and work for us. We'd love to have you with us. He's got all these job offers. He had accepted a server offer somewhere else just to be able to bring some income in and pay the bills. Had all these job offers, which he was exploring, and somebody had come in and said, actually, I have this building and I want to build a restaurant, and I'd like you to actually be the head of this new restaurant. I want to work with you to build this new restaurant, which was his dream. And he didn't have the financial resources or the knowledge or the know-how or the courage to be able to step out of his comfort zone of employment to be able to do it. One TikTok video, his entire world falls apart. Life isn't happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So the universe picked up on his, I want to build my own restaurant, and went, right, well, if you're going to build your own restaurant, dude, then we got to let this shit go to let the new shit in. Now, that's not always the way life works, obviously, but it's a perfect example of how you have to shatter the old to build the new, and think when things look like they're falling apart, maybe they're actually falling together. Maybe the universe is going, well, we've been waiting for you to step up, but you keep stuck in this old paradigm because you're too afraid to step out of it. So we're just going to take that option off the table. And you have the big freak out. You've got to be able to embrace those opportunities and possibilities and reclaim your power to know that you have the ability to solve any problem. Why do people feel stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed? Because they don't understand or realize their ability and capacity to solve any problem they face. Any problem or challenge. You are never given a problem or challenge you cannot solve, and you are capable of solving any problem or challenge. Does that mean you will never have another freak out moment? No. But if when you have a freak out moment, when things look like, nah, this is really crap and I'm, existential crisis, that you take a step back and go, okay, breathe. It's all going to be okay. There's a solution to this problem. I just need to find it. If you approach life in that way, that every single situation in your life is a problem to solve, it changes the game entirely. Your entire life is a series of problem-solving opportunities. And that's business. That's wealth creation. That's success on another level. So reclaim your power, release those blocks, those fears, those doubts, those conditioned constraints. That's all they are. They're just conditioned constraints. Nothing can constrain you except those things which you allow to constrain you. And that means there's going to be risk involved. You're not always going to win every single time. You're probably going to fail a lot more than you will succeed. But failure is not a terminal illness. It's an opportunity for expansion, for growth. So, and then it's looking at the next step is to clear those blocks to wealth, to recognize that you are infinitely abundant, to understand that you have access to so much wealth. It is developing the framework to be able to offer value to the world in a way that they will reward you. The world will reward you for that value in such a way that you can expand it to a limitless potential. So you have the structure, the system, the leverage, the framework, the processes in place that allow you to expand indefinitely or to wherever you want. If you want 6 figures, that's simple with the framework that you install. It's like Lego. You know how you can start and you can build something really small and then you can take it from that and you can build something really big. So think about any business that you have or any business that you're starting as a Lego project, that you build the foundation, and then from that, there are no limits on what you can build from the original core framework. Start with the end in mind. And your wealth is only limited by your wealth consciousness. Your wealth consciousness is determined by what limiting beliefs you decide to run the show, or what opportunities and possibilities you decide to embrace along the way, no matter how scary that is for you. So it's lack and scarcity consciousness or a wealth and abundance and prosperity consciousness. Your results will be determined by which one is dominant. So you can still have parts of a lack and scarcity consciousness, but if your wealth, abundance, and prosperity consciousness is dominant, then it will override the lack and scarcity consciousness. So if you look at your results and go, I'm not where I want to be, then you need to work on your level of wealth, abundance, and prosperity consciousness. That's it. And remember that conscious capitalism is the future. And think about what that looks like for you. To actually take a minute and think about when I say the words conscious capitalism, what does that mean to you? You get to define this. This is your show. I've only shown up in your world because you called me in, because you wanted somebody to articulate these concepts that have been running around in your head. Because get this, I don't exist. I don't exist. I am a creation of your consciousness. I am just a holographic projection that you have called in because you want expansion, you want growth, you want something new, you want to shatter the old paradigm. Well, hello, this is me. I am a part of that holographic projection that you have called in. So don't for a moment outsource your power to anybody else, including me. Because you created this. You're creating everything. Why would you outsource your power to something you created? Recognize, acknowledge, understand, and appreciate. That's how powerful you are. You created all of it. All the shit parts, all the good parts. You've created it. So don't outsource your power to anything that you have created. I'm just a reflection of your desire, of those rockets of desire that Abraham talks about. I'm just a reflection of that. And hopefully I'm helping you to facilitate taking that next step, creating that next phase, becoming the next version of you. That's my desire. That's my intention as a part of your projection. It's kind of fun, isn't it, when you think of it in those terms? Wait a minute. I don't exist. Wait, what? I'm only here as a result of your co-creation in your world. It's kind of fun. I love that. I just love that. It's just so fun to me. And how we get to create the world the way we want it. We are not at anybody's or anything's mercy. And we're starting to see that in real time because this has been, it is such a great creation. And this has been our yearning for the longest time. This is humanity's yearning. And it has taken us this long, thousands of years, to get to a point where we are merging and converging with all of those rockets of desire that humanity has been putting out for years to escape the oppression, to escape the matrix. This is the most amazing time to be alive. It's incredible. What you've lived through and what you're living through is unbelievable. And while there are those who are freaking out, me personally, I'm going, oh, baby, this is the best. And it's all about your perception and how you see it, whether you create misery and suffering or whether you look at it and go, wow, this is wild. I'm all in. And know that, yeah, some of it's going to be rough and some of it's going to be rocky, but the lifelines that we are being thrown are unbelievable, all as a result of our creation. So then the final part of all of this part of it is transforming your identity. You change your identity, you change your life. It is our identity beliefs that are the most impactful and influential on how we show up, on the results that we experience and create. Once you are ready to let go of your old, limited perception of who you are and embrace the new, expanded, conscious version of you, you shatter who you were yesterday and you create a new version of you and a new version of your reality moving forward. Now, it's really important to remember that who you choose to become today will be realized in your results Not immediately. Because the version you were yesterday created your reality today. So, this new version of you that you embrace and all the discomfort that comes with it today, those results may be realized in a really tangible way in a week or a month or maybe even longer. So, it's being willing to be a bit patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, be patient and allow the unfolding. Your impatience is resistance. Damn it, I'm not a multi-billionaire yet. What the hell is wrong with me? It's just not fair. Shit keeps showing up and just getting in my way. Relax, allow, lean in, let go, breathe. Fall in love with the process, fall in love with the unfolding, allow it, allow the messiness, allow the chaos, allow the discomfort, allow the expansion, allow the freakouts. Give yourself permission to just be immersed in this experience and this soup, that there are no boundaries. But without the boundaries, you have to let go of some of the certainty. We're constrained by our desire and our wish for certainty. You have to get used to and see any single person who is successful at anything has to embrace a certain level of uncertainty. Look at sports people. They don't go into any tournament or any competition certain that they're going to win. They can build a mindset that gives them every opportunity to succeed, that visualizes their success. But there are no guarantees and there is no true certainty, and you have to embrace the uncertainty. And every single match, game, race that somebody doesn't win or loses, they've never lost. What they've won is a new understanding. What they've won is, let's go back to the drawing board and see how I can improve, what I can do better, how I can be stronger, have a better mindset. A lot of it's mindset. How I can strengthen my resilience, my endurance, my capacity to be at the top of my game longer. I'm a real tennis fan, and this is like my favorite time of year because the Australian Open's on, and I just love watching the tennis matches. And you see these players come out, and they're like, some of them I've never heard of before, and they're kind of new, and they've got so much freaking talent, but it's inconsistent. So you can see the brilliance come out. You can see where they've done the hard work and they've done the repetition and they've shown up to master their skill set, but they're not able to actually sustain it over in the guys tournament 5 games or in the girls 3 games. But the brilliance shines through and you go, oh my God, you have so much talent and so much potential. And there's flashes of it, but then they get lost in their mindset and their lack of belief and their lack of ability to sustain that over a period of time. And we're the same in everything that we do, in our relationships, in our health, in our business, in our wealth creation. It's okay. This is the process of mastery. Give yourself a break. Remember, you're right where you're at for where you're going. So transforming your identity is huge. And knowing that there is always a lag. So who you are today is creating your future. Don't get impatient. Allow it to unfold. Doesn't mean you don't work your ass off sometimes, but it just means that you're working your ass off and allowing it to unfold simultaneously. And the final part is the inspired, aligned action plan. Okay, so this is the final part before we get into the let this shit go section, where I work with you to let that shit go. So your inspired aligned action plan, what does that look like? Well, we go back to start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. I want you to identify right now, knowing what you know, because we don't know what we don't know, knowing what you know, what are 3 to 5 steps that you can take in the next 24 to 48 hours. They're going to just help you to make progress. I'm not asking you to create an entirely new universe in 24 to 48 hours. You just want to make progress. That is your primary aim. So 3 to 5 things that you can do moving forward. And if you finish that really quickly, which I see some people have, expand yourself. Think about what's something that I haven't considered that could be really beneficial to support my progress. How do I shatter my current paradigm and make progress fast? Okay, now, before we move into me working with you, I want you to think about, in relation to reclaiming your power, I want you to answer this question for me or for yourself. And the question is, what's slowing me down, holding me back, and stopping me from achieving my vision? What's slowing me down, holding me back, and stopping me from achieving my vision? What's slowing me down, holding me back, and stopping me from achieving my vision? What else is slowing me down, holding me back, and stopping me from achieving my vision? What am I buying into that no longer serves me and serves the future that I want to create? Next question is, what am I most afraid of? What am I most afraid of? You're working with your subconscious here. So ask your subconscious, what am I most afraid of? Be really honest with yourself. What am I most afraid of? One realization right here could shift everything for you. One new awareness. Remember, the awareness, the recognition is safe. It's what you do with that that may threaten the subconscious. Because your subconscious fears what it doesn't know, it doesn't understand. Your subconscious has put in place barriers and safety mechanisms because it wants to keep you safe. So, based on past experiences, based on previous conditioning, it's installed beliefs that were designed to keep you safe. So, it doesn't want you to find those beliefs. That's why this inquiry is so important, because it wants to hide this stuff from you, because it's like it goes, I know what you're up to. You want to actually remove these safety mechanisms that I put in place, and I'm not going to help you. But if you continue this line of inquiry, you'll eventually have new awarenesses and understandings. And then it's what you do with those and how you work with them to reassure your subconscious that you're no longer five. And what seemed like an existential crisis when you were five is no longer relevant. And you can let that shit go. Okay, last question. Who do you need to become in relation to this new vision for yourself, for your future, in relation to becoming the conscious, wealthy leader that you were destined to become when you came here? Who do you need to become? What does that 2.0 version of you look like? What kind of traits and characteristics do you need to embody? Okay. All right. So, in a moment, we're going to move into letting that shit go. So, anybody who wasn't here right at the beginning, I just want to let you know that I'm going to open up the opportunity to be able to work with me, to be able to do some tapping and some other stuff on what you've discovered today that's holding you back, and clear some of those blocks and fears and doubts out of the way. And know that this recording will actually be made public on my YouTube channel. So, just so you're fully aware of that before we work together. And before we dive into that, I'm going to just take a few minutes to share with you an opportunity, if you feel like you would like help and support to be able to break new ground and become this next 2.0 version of you, then I have my uh, Thrive program. So Thrive is a 6-week coaching intensive. I've actually extended to 12 weeks, where you look at getting clear on your vision, your mission, your purpose. We work on helping to monetize your genius, your superpowers. You're developing your unique wealth formula. also work with you. I have a very one element where we look at AI. I'm not an AI expert, but I'm just so excited about how we can use AI to accelerate wealth creation and success. It's phenomenal. Developing your strategic action plan, really solidifying that and putting the processes and the steps in place to support your success moving forward. Developing an unstoppable mindset, clearing out those fears, doubts, and blocks that are stopping you. Clearing the blocks to money, wealth, and abundance. So what we do is we have 2 weekly live coaching calls for the first 6 weeks. And we work on business strategy and your mindset. So one call for the week is on your business strategy and the other is on the unstoppable mindset. You get the Thrive workbook, which is 85 pages, and that's self-exploration. So I put together the workbook. So this is that's why it's called an intensive. It's an intense process of self-discovery. And this is what really accelerates your growth is answering these deep probing questions. So there's quite a lot of work involved. And that's why this is not for the faint-hearted, because it is committing to yourself to do the discovery work to really accelerate your growth and your progress over these 6 weeks. And then after the first 6 weeks, there will be 6 weeks of ongoing group coaching. That's every 2 weeks, and access to the private social media group. So there will be, after the first 6 weeks, there will be one group coaching call every 2 weeks, but you will get access to the social media group where you can ask me questions and you can collaborate with each other. So week 1, we work on the know thyself aspect, really remembering who you truly are, defining your soul mission. Week 3 is monetizing your genius. Week 4 is building an unstoppable mindset. Week 5 is designing your success framework. Week 6 is creating your unique strategic action plan. And then we have the bonus AI training to amplify and accelerate your success, and how to use AI to 10 times your progress, if not more. It's ridiculous what you can do with AI. And for the first 10 members who join, you will get the program. But you will also get a personal one-on-one breakthrough session with me. So that's for the first 10 people only. And that's a 90-minute to 2-hour session diving into the deep processes of your mind to really get the breakthrough that you need, because some people don't necessarily feel at liberty to share everything on a group call. So sometimes that one-on-one breakthrough session can just give you that little bit more safety. Although it's really quite a safe space in the group environment. And you will actually get 12 months of ongoing group coaching every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks or twice a month, you will get coaching with me for 12 months. And we start next week, Sunday, the 25th of January for those in the United States. And that is, that's wrong. Sorry, my bad. Let me just update that. Naughty. Okay, the 26th. It's actually the next day. So it's Monday the 26th and Tuesday the 27th. File save. Just changing stuff on the fly. It's all good. So where are you? Let's get back to that. There we go. So they're the dates: Monday the 26th of January, Tuesday the 27th of January. So it's just a couple of days away. It is $497. And for all the intensive coaching that you're going to receive, that's a pretty good deal. So if you want to check that out, you can go to wealthconsciousnessmovement.com. I know it's a long URL, but it's wealthconsciousnessmovement.com/thrive, and it will take you to the page that will give you the information. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 weeks to assess the program. If you think it's not a good fit for you and you really don't want to move forward with it, then you can let me know and I will give you your money back. So I can't be more further than that. The 497 is United States currency, just so you're aware of that. But yes, you get 2 weeks to dive right in, assess the program, work with me. And if you don't like it, then I'll just give you your money back because I want happy people on my programs. Okay. So now let's do the let this shit go part of today. So who would like to dive in? Lucia, so lovely to see you here. Your beautiful face. Hello. It's like Lucia, it's currently 1 o'clock in the morning for Lucia where she is, and she's just shows up with this beautiful, bright, shiny, smiley face. So who would like to step into the ring? Well, firstly, do you have any feedback or any questions about what we've done today before I throw you in the deep end? Just either put your hand up or unmute yourself. Don't be shy. Oh, come on, people. Come on. Be the first. Who's going to be the first? Jude. Yes. Hey,
Hey,
brave girl.
hey. I came to one of your sessions years ago before I went back to the UK and now back in Australia. So I kind of went, okay, let's see what
Oh,
the magic brings.
awesome.
So yeah, yeah,
Welcome back to Australia.
yeah. Well, I've been back a little while.
Okay, good. Good to
Yeah.
see you back.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's been a really good reminder session, consolidating a lot of, yeah, it's always really good to hear it,
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
sometimes even though we know this stuff, somebody might just say something that just gives you, that extra. Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about it from that perspective. So,
yeah, yeah. And it lands in a different way, isn't it? We can hear it so many times. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
So
So, what was your big discovery today for yourself?
there was a couple of things about the what am I most afraid of that came up, and I'll be honest, it wasn't it's not so much about actually two things that came up, poverty and homelessness.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
And that's just yeah. So
Is that because all of these beliefs are sort of conditions that we've picked up? So, is this something that you picked up maybe from your childhood?
don't know. It's really interesting, isn't it? I had a comfortable middle class upbringing. I remember always going, I was the youngest kid and always in the middle of this car seat on the back when we were going out and about. And I remember this, oh, my mum or dad or somebody commenting, oh, look at that little house. Isn't that, like a, poor thing. And I used to pipe up like Pollyanna in the back. I'm going, well, it's better than nowhere. So
Yeah.
always sort of seeing the positives,
Yes.
and I go, well, that's better than nowhere. And yeah, just not fighting against that limited stuff, that
Mm-hmm.
being so for a lot of my adult journey, it's been about the spiritual quest for gratitude and all that sort of side of things. So I think yeah, I am excited. There is some trepidation at the moment how we're entering this time and how we can really fit. I think for me at the moment, what's coming up is I've got some very good creative ideas coming, but is it really, truly my heart's desire?
Mm.
Is it old programming like the old? So I just to give you context, I've been a registered nurse in the UK and over here in Australia for a long time. Done a lot of community nursing, love the community, a lot of end of life stuff. And in fact, my role now is a volunteer coordinator for palliative volunteers. Sounds lovely, but I'll just be very honest in the group. I'm a bit over it. I'm
Mm.
a, I, I'm over. So sounds a bit glib. I'm not over death because I know about death. And I have been talking about conscious living and dying for a long time, but it's like, is that really what I want to do? Is that really what I want to talk about? to the point that last year I put a New South Wales petition in to Assembly with others to get human composting legislated here. So I'm one of the movers and the groovers to try to get a regenerative death care option here. And I love it, but I actually love it more about the soil than actually and that no discredit to people. I love people. I do love people, but I'm more excited about how I can get excited about the soil and get the process started. Does that
So
sound a bit
this is
crazy?
your soul yearning for the expansion and the understanding, from what I'm hearing, the understanding that we go back to where we came from, which we came
Hmm.
from, we were created from to dust, and to dust we shall return, and
Yeah.
how you can maybe facilitate that process in a conscious way. But there's
Hmm.
more to the story. I think what your hesitancy is that you haven't actually unlocked the entire story yet. There's more to that story.
Hmm.
And when you
Okay.
unlock the rest of the story, that's what will excite you.
Hmm.
It's like, what
Hmm.
does that really mean? What does that mean for humanity? What does that mean for the way we approach death in future? Because you obviously have a lot of experience, a lot of conscious awareness
Hmm.
around that transition.
Hmm.
And then how do we embrace that transition so we're not all deathly, that's a wrong word to use, but deathly
Hmm.
scared of death,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and we embrace this cycle of life and see the conscious evolution that it is.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a transit. It really is a transition to somewhere else, and that's what I am excited about. I'm excited about this unfolding because I don't quite know what my role is. It's like I know there's something coming, but I don't can't quite define what it is. In the interim, I've got some other lovely travel nomadic ideas, you know, and it's a few things coming in, but it does come back. It does come back to Mother Earth and that rich soil. How we can all become that rich soil, and yeah, water, all the elements,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, so thank you for allowing me to share that.
I love
That's
it. I love it. I love it. So just embrace the uncertainty of that and the possibilities that reside within that. And perhaps a part of your um, a part of the trepidation is that you know and understand that our old paradigms are just, it's a quantum leap from our old paradigms to that paradigm.
mm,
And maybe instead of trying to work within the current frameworks to make the current frameworks make that conscious leap, it's actually finding those who are willing to support you building new frameworks. Because we're moving into a time where um, we will be creating parallel systems that run alongside of the old systems and maybe use some of the old frameworks, but they're actually separate from the old systems and the old frameworks. So we're going to be divorcing ourselves from these old systems. So as we divorce ourselves from those old systems, you are now creating new paradigms, new ways of seeing death, new ways of being a part of that cycle of life and becoming a regenerative part of the soil
mm,
as we let go of the old meat suit that we have inhabited.
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is exciting, yeah, and it's letting go those, and in fact, to the point where I have to other people are having conversations with politicians, but that's not my arena. I don't talk to politicians. I get so like, oh yeah. So we know our zones of genius, and that's not one of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would invite you to start thinking about how can you create these new kind of paradigms outside of those political arenas. So they're not,
Mm,
so they're unnecessary. There may be
Mm,
parts of the obviously regulations that you need to work with, but the politicians themselves, who
mm.
are pretty much, most of them at least, are ensconced in that old paradigm way of thinking. And those wheels take so long to turn. So, there are people in our world who are currently, they're just going, well, we're just going to circumnavigate that and go right round it. And everybody's going, wait, what? You can't do that. Well, just watch me because I just did.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the people that light me up, that's the people I want to be around,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
Yes.
actually, I feel like I'm so contained, like being inside this room. I have to be outside. Being online is, I felt pulled to come today, but being online all the time is just
Yeah,
really constricting
constrains
me at
you.
the
You
moment.
need people,
Mm, yeah,
real people,
yeah, yeah, real
not
people, real,
projections on a screen.
yeah. But yeah, it's been a very good projection.
Eh,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you for sharing, Jude. Okay. Anybody else want to share, want to work on stuff, want to let shit go? I'm here for it. Oh, come on. Come and play. What's something somebody wants to let go? All right. I'm going to start some tapping. While you think about that, I'm going to do a tapping and we're just going to start on the inside of the eye. I'm choosing to live in the zone of expansion. I'm choosing to live in the zone of possibilities. I choose to shatter my old identities. And I choose to create and embrace my new identity, who is capable of achieving anything. I choose to create my new earth paradigm consciously. I choose to create my future aligned with my vision and my goals. I choose to show up every day to take action toward my goals. I choose to work on my alignment. I choose to work on my soul alignment. I give myself permission to be who I truly am. I give myself permission to escape the matrix. I give myself permission to embrace new possibilities. I choose to live in the miracle zone. I choose to allow miracles to unfold. I choose to embrace the unfolding. I choose to embrace the uncertainty. I choose expansion. I choose growth. I choose learning. I choose getting out of my comfort zone. I choose miracles every day. I choose to live in the zone of miracles. I choose to live in the zone of infinite possibilities. I choose in favor of my future. I choose in favor of wealth. I choose in favor of freedom. I choose in favor of my soul. And I choose to live in the zone of miracles. Okay, taking a deep breath and let it out. Okay. I'm going to just ask one more time. Does anybody want to come on and work with me? Does anybody want to do some tapping to release anything that's holding you back, facing your fears, letting them go? Okay. Lucia and then Jude, did you want to come in as well? Or yeah? Okay. All right. Lucia. Lucia first.
Okay. Hi, Margarita.
Hey.
I hate having indecisions. I move from one thing to another. You know, I work with stress, and then I had the idea about migraines.
Yes.
I reached out to people, they haven't come back. I went back to them, they haven't come back. And I reached out to corporate as well. This is what I'm gonna follow them on as well. And I don't like it, but it's something like, why can't I make up my mind?
So why can't you make up your mind between stress and overwhelm and the migraine side of things?
Yeah, well, the migraine side of things, I heard my mentor, she said, well, you actually, it's better you work with something you actually know.
Mm,
So stress, overwhelm, direction, burnout. I know that well.
yes. Okay. All right. So if you had to make a forced choice, so if somebody said to you and said, you can only do one,
That's what I don't want to. I've got
what
many interests.
if you could only do one, which one would you choose? Don't think about it too hard. Just which one would you choose? If you could only do one, which one would you be drawn to?
And you see how it works.
Okay. So there's a reason you're preventing yourself from deciding. That indecision is serving you. Because if you have indecision, then you don't have to take action or you don't have to take really like decisive action.
Well, actually, I want to move on. And I'd say, yes, I'd like to work with people who feel stressed because I can help there.
Mhm.
On the other hand, it's, well, yeah, but I'm not really drawn to that.
Okay. So is there a third choice that you are not considering?
Something which I have no experience with, or what they feel. Well, it would be physical pain, emotional pain. This is what it's really attracting.
What causes
Really.
stress, overwhelm, and anxiety?
What causes stress? Well, that they're tied together.
They are tied together. So who's to say you've had no experience in that? You've had experience in aspects of that.
Yeah.
So explore the connection between stress, overwhelm, anxiety, and physical and emotional pain and distress because the two are very intimately connected. How can
Mm-hmm.
relieving stress, fear, and anxiety also help to relieve pain and emotional stress or emotional pain?
Mm-hmm. Well, I see the connection, absolutely.
Mm. So you address the ultimate outcome, which is the relief of pain, and you know that the techniques that you use have been proven to release physical and emotional pain and stress and anxiety and all that stuff. So use the understanding that the techniques that you use absolutely have that ability. And then You use your intuition, your wisdom to be able to work with the person to find the connection and find the anchor for them to help them to release it. Because that's the part that you understand. The part that you understand is helping the person to find what that core stress or trauma or emotional connection is, because that's all any of this work is. It's finding that initial emotional attachment to something in the past. So you have had experience with it, yes, because that is the core essence of your work. It's just applying it in a way that produces the desired outcome for people. Own it, Lucia. So from this point forward, just own it. And when you own it, you live it, and then you become it. So, but you can't become it if you don't own it first.
Okay.
Okay, so have you decided?
Pain. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now just do it. And know that most people nowadays will not make a decision until they've had 7 to 12 touch points, at least. So it's being able to, and it's not always reaching out and asking for people to get back to you or anything else. It's saying, oh, well, maybe you would like this, this email or this understanding or this, maybe you give them, but you've got to give them value in some way. So you explain to them. You can explain to them, you're feeling pain. This is why. It's emotional. There's some attachment to trauma or something in the past. And you send them an email that explains it to them. Help them to make the connection.
You make it so easy. Thank you.
Well, I try to make it simpler.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the next contact is just offering value and understanding and helping to prove your authority in the space. Okay?
Thank you, Margarita.
Super cool. You're welcome. All right. Okay. Jude.
Okay. So I invested last year in an online business, a Japanese business that's been in business for over 50 years, selling wellbeing products, high quality wellbeing products. And I believe in them very much. And it's an online platform. I'm looking currently at my niche of single older mums with teenagers, particularly overseas. And particularly my story is that my son's actually at college in Tanzania on a United World College. So that's the stories that I'm putting out. I'm making it too complicated. I'm holding myself back about the selling. I do know it's a service because I want to help other people. So within this business concept, it is a very good concept. There is a very good segment of the pie that if other people join and become distributors, they can get a bit of the pie and earn. Really, I've seen other people in the business inspiring people that are doing it, and mainly women, but there are men as well. But the ones that are really inspiring. And I'm just feeling a little bit like it's good, and I'm not sure what's holding me back. There's something that's not giving my this has been said to me before. I accelerate but have the foot on the brake at the same time.
So what is the thing that you're most afraid of with this, with putting it out there?
Of being able to articulate the details of why it's so beneficial, the products are so beneficial, actually getting the words out, just being, being my authentic self
Self.
and being convincing enough to, I mean, I'm convinced because I invested, and the person I came into the business with and other people I see around me, who a lot of them are very much similar. They're expats living overseas to another country. And that really, because the lives that we live, we resonate with people that have done the similar path. So there's all the ticks and the boxes. I find Instagram like more and more challenging to be on all the time. I have been looking at YouTube to kind of just go, but then it's how I draw my potential audience into you. You know, it's like I just get bombarded, overwhelmed with the whole social media. Oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. I don't actually have a fear of particularly talking to people, but I don't seem to convince them about it enough to take the next, for them to go from one step to another to the leads. I'm learning skills.
Okay, you're right. It's really important that you really simplify this process. So the first thing to really identify is what excites you the most about the product or the products and why you were drawn to them.
Yeah.
So identify that, why you were drawn to them specifically, why you believe in them.
Yeah.
You don't have to, the point is not to articulate all the benefits or the features. Sorry, the problem, you don't have to articulate all the features, what everything does. What people want to know is, yeah, but what's in it for me? Comes back to the old Whiffam thing.
Yeah.
And then it's how do you articulate that message in a way that you feel confidence and conviction in the message. And the resistance is letting go of the outcome. So letting go of, I'm trying to sell this product to them. Just convey the message.
Yeah.
The decision is up to them.
Yeah.
If they feel aligned with that and they feel your heart, then they'll go, I'd really like to know more about this product. Can you tell me more? And then you give them just enough information, or you ask them. The next point is really, so what is it that piqued your interest? Because then you can speak specifically to why they're interested. Maybe they've got their own health challenges, or maybe they're just health nuts that are looking for the next biohack. And this speaks to that. But unless you understand what piqued their interest in the first place, you can't speak to that. You're just rambling off stuff that's kind of like may or may not be relevant to them.
Yeah.
But always letting go of the outcome. Your intention is never to sell them product. Your intention is always to introduce them to something that may help them to achieve the outcome that they're already seeking.
Yeah.
Which you know how hard health is to sell to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking for those specific people who are already in that headspace of looking for high quality nutritional products that may exceed the ones they're already taking or add something new to the ones they're already taking.
Yeah.
They're the people you're looking for. And they're only a small percentage of the population. You don't want to have to educate people or convince them. That's hard work. You just want to magnetize those people who are already wanting what it is that you have. They just don't know that you have what it is that they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And again, what you say has been said many times to me, but it's how it kind of, it's the resonance, isn't it? There's a
So often in these kinds of situations, we're afraid of what other people will think of us. Because if we weren't receiving some sort of a kickback and we had found this great product at one of our favorite stores, then we would just have no resistance to going, oh my God, I found this incredible product and this is my experience. You need to go and buy it from this place. And because we're not actually receiving any benefit from that, we have no resistance to doing it. It's when we are then receiving benefit, which why the hell shouldn't we? Then all that, oh my God, what are they going to think of me? They're going to judge me. They're going to think I'm pushing something on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why it's really important that you just put your message out there, whatever your message is. So craft your own unique message that really resonates with you, and then put it out there and go, pick it up, don't pick it up. That's your call. Yes, I receive some money as a part of doing this. If that sort of puts you off, then that's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's not our problem. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you.
So just chat with me because everybody could benefit from this.
Okay. No,
Okay. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my emotional attachment to what people will think of me. I destroy, uncreate, and delete worrying about the judgment of others. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear that people will misunderstand my intentions. I destroy, uncreate, and delete people judging and criticizing me. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of the opinions of others. I destroy, uncreate, and delete wanting to be accepted and approved. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my need for the acceptance and approval of others. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of people misjudging me. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of rejection. I destroy, uncreate, and delete needing external validation from other people. I destroy, uncreate, and delete choosing the approval and acceptance of others over my own financial well-being. I choose in favor of me. I choose to share my heart in an unreserved way. I choose to be honest and share my message with conviction. I choose authenticity and honesty without reservation and without worrying about what other people think of me. Okay, deep breath. So this is a deep sort of human desire and need for the acceptance, approval, and validation of others. And it comes from because we're born so helpless that we need our tribe's acceptance, love, and approval, because without it, we could be outcast, which would mean certain death. So we overlay everything with, oh my God, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to approve of me? And our dominant desire is for the acceptance, love, and approval. And I'm going to drop the F-bomb here, just a word of warning. And whatever you think of Elon Musk, I loved it when he came out a few years ago and said, if you're going to try and control me with money, then GFY, go fuck yourself. It's like, wow. I mean, that's liberating to go, I have a $44 billion investment, which was never worth $44 billion, and he knew it. And I am willing to risk all of it because I am going to stand by my principles. So whatever you think of those principles, I just thought that is just the ultimate liberation. To be able to say to the rest of the world, I will not be controlled and constrained by the pressures that you are going to put on me because I'm not conforming and complying to what you think I should be and what you think I should do. Screw you. And if that means the ultimate collapse of this enterprise that I've invested in, so be it. I'll go and do something else. Oh, wow, that's incredible. So if you can take on that kind of ultimate liberating kind of approach to this, and not to say that you hurt anybody in the way, that's not in the process, and oh, you are, but if somebody else chooses to see something that isn't there when you are sharing your heart, then, hey, dude, that's your shit. Basically, that's your shit. That ain't my shit. Go and deal with your shit, and I'm just going to live my life. Thank you very much. So, Jude, does that help at all?
Yeah, there was a few there that went, oh yes. When I was going, can't remember which ones they were now, but it was like, oh yes. Thank you. It was great.
But worth
really
exploring all of that, because once you liberate yourself from that, it's kind of like you can share your heart and know that that as long as you're aligned with your values and you're authentic, then everybody else's judgment and opinion of you is no longer valid. It completely invalidates somebody else's judgment and opinion of you. People want that. They align with that. They go, I want what she's got because she's living fearlessly. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure everybody got something out of that. So is there anybody else who wants to come in before we wrap it up today? Yes.
I'm Marguerita. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. Beautiful to have you here.
Okay. If I can make a comment about something that Lucia said, which might help or might not.
Yes, please do.
A couple of years ago, my partner and I made the decision to improve our eating habits. Not that we were eating unhealthy, but basically we cut out everything that had to do with bread, pasta, which was very hard for me. And also no processed foods, no sugars. And I can say, as an unintended consequence of that, I used to have migraines and headaches, which were getting worse and worse. For the last couple of years, I have not had a migraine and basically no headaches as well, which was it was an unintended consequence, but I am very happy about it. So, it might help, it might not. It was hard to sort of keep keep these healthy habits up, especially for myself, not eating pasta. I grew up on pasta, but it's totally worth it now.
Fabulous. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, something might come out of it.
I'm curious to know for yourself. So obviously having headaches and migraines, that's very debilitating, like just awful. Do you think that there was
Yes.
a desire within you to eradicate the migraines and the headaches that actually drove you unconsciously to change your diet? Have you ever made that connection? Because there was a part of you that knew that the physical impact was the diet, so it kind of directed you in that way, even though you didn't understand it. Does that make sense? Does that question even make sense?
Uh, yeah, possibly, maybe unconsciously, but it wasn't the reason why we chose to go down that path.
Mm.
To tell you the truth, I was overseas. My partner was in Australia, and I was eating a lot of stuff that I thought. And so then, when I was on the phone with my partner, I said, "Listen, by the time I get back, I really want to sort of, cut back a bit." And she actually said, "Funny you saying that because I was thinking the same thing." So she
Wow.
came from another aspect, So yeah, so when I got back, we improved our healthy eating, and yeah, ever since then, as I said, it was an unintended but very welcome consequence.
Fabulous.
So
Thank you so
obviously,
much for sharing.
not everybody's body is the same, because we're all different. But yeah, I hit the nail on the head with that.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Lucia, maybe that's something that you could include as another, relieving long-term pain, because we know that our food is thy medicine. Make food thy medicine. And that, yes, when you clean up your diet, your body will ultimately respond in a way that helps to improve the health and well-being and relieve those pain symptoms. So as an adjunct. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's very powerful.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else want to share anything? Want to work on something? Yes, no, maybe. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for those who came to play today. It's always, it just feeds my soul doing this work. It really, really does. So if you want to explore anything further, then, reach out to me. You can go to wealthconsciousnessmovement.com/thrive and have a look at the program there. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you very much. Love you all. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.